Hi friends, welcome back. I am excited to share with you my Kayali perfume collection and how they rank. If you're new here, hi, my name is Z. I am a beauty and fragrance lover and I see perfumes as a finishing touch or an accessory to a look because I feel like all of our looks put together a story, and today I'm going to share with you how my different Kayali fragrances fit into the story of the looks I like to create. Without further hesitation, let's get cozy and get right into this video. Number 6 is Kayali's The Wedding Silk Santal 36. To my nose, this is a very warm, creamy, woody scent. Santal is a really beautiful ingredient for creating this lush warmth in fragrances, and that is exactly what this is. This is a really beautiful, warm, elegant scent. It would be beautiful if you want a slightly stronger bridal scent, because this does have a really strong romantic undercurrent, and it is sexy in a way that is more confident over a seductive type of sexy. I really enjoy it, but for me, my outfits I like to wear, the general aesthetic I wear, this can sometimes feel a little too heavy. This fragrance is classified as a floral amber fragrance. The top notes are sparkling champagne, white freesia, black currant. Heart notes or the middle notes are a lush nectarine, pink praline, jasmine, rose Damascus, and orange blossom, and then everything settles down into a beautiful base of sugared musk, sandalwood, oak moss, amber woods, and vanilla absolute. For me, this is a perfume depending on your personal style and aesthetic. This could work. I feel it's more of a special occasion daytime scent or an any season universal evening fragrance, as it definitely does lend itself to a slightly more sophisticated occasion. If you are someone who likes to put a lot of romantic, lush glamour into your everyday style, this is easily like a signature scent type fragrance that you could wear anytime, any place, and it would never feel inappropriate. In my personal collection, this fragrance falls into the same category that I would classify Elizabeth and James Nirvana Bourbon, or if I want something in a similar vein but it's a little bit lighter, more fluffy, and slightly more tropical and airy, I would go for Xerjoff Dama Bianca. You can still find the Elizabeth and James on the gray market websites. However, Xerjoff is still available. This particular fragrance is part of the Casmarati line, and Xerjoff is definitely more of an expensive fragrance. What I love about this scent, it does have that lush warmth that you would find in the Kayali Wedding Silk Santal, except it's softened. It's a little bit more airy. It's almost like you took the Wedding Silk Santal, fluffed it up, and sprinkled a little bit more like a sparkling sugar into it, and that's what you get with Dama Bianca from Xerjoff. For me and my aesthetic, I feel like I can get a little bit more use of Dama Bianca on more of an everyday occasion, especially in warmer weather when I want something a little bit more creamy. The next fragrance in my Kayali collection, coming in at number 5, Kayali Vanilla Candy Rock Sugar 42. Warm, sweet, almost vanilla boozy scent. To my nose, this gives me candied beverage you would have at a girly holiday party. It's definitely a warmer, cool weather scent for me and my preferences. I really enjoy it. Again, this is one that can be a little too powerful for me and my scent preferences. Vanilla Candy Rock Sugar is classified as an amber gourmand scent. So if you like those warm, rich, enveloping, foodie, sweet scents, you might really love this. The notes, I feel like they do shine through, although for me, I predominantly get like a warm, sugary, boozy vanilla. We have top notes of candied pear, violet leaves, rum, ylang-ylang, marshmallow, and vanilla cream. In the heart, we have jasmine, labdanum, white caramel, bubblegum, and jelly bean. Lots of fun, fruity candies. In the base, we have vetiver, sandalwood, cashmere woods, patchouli, rock sugar, sugar and the signature Kayali Accord. For me, this is definitely like either a scent that you could wear like most of spring as more of an evening scent, or an autumn, winter, daytime scent. For the cooler seasons, this doesn't, in my opinion, have enough body to be dressed up. For me, this is not the type of fragrance I would pair with like a Lush velvet party dress. This is something that I would wear more with like a cozy cable knit sweater and a comfy pair of jeans and like fluffy boots. Just something to keep you warm and cozy, but still feeling light and airy for every day. I really like this. In those cooler months, it's not my first fragrance I reach to just because it can feel a little heavy and a little overwhelming. I want something like that. In my personal collection, I like to reach for the Ariana Grande Ari fragrance. I've shared on my channel and other fragrance videos. This is one of my favorite fragrances. It's warm, it's fluffy, but it's not heavy. It's not a sticky, sweet fragrance. It has a little bit more airiness whipped into it. It does feel more like a fresh floral, and for me, this is a warm gourmand that I can wear any time of year, either during the day with more of like a daytime casual outfit, or maybe if I'm just hanging out around the house. I really love this, and you can often find this for a really great deal. I love it so much. The longevity isn't the best. You definitely get better longevity from the Kayali Vanilla Candy Rock Sugar, but for the price comparison and how much I wear it, I prefer the Ariana Grande Ari perfume. Coming in at number 4 is the newest release in the Kayali collection, Fleur Majesty Rose Royale 31. This is a perfume I almost purchased the large bottle because it is on paper everything I love in a perfume. It feels like all of the notes of my favorite perfumes rolled into one, and it would be coupled with that signature Kayali Accord in the base. Smelling this from the bottle, it is like the Lush Herbal Essence Shampoo Fresh Springtime Floral perfume that I want to wear with all of my fun floral frilly outfits that just bring me so much joy. To me, my nose, my scent preference, this is joy in a bottle. If you want something like Parfum de Marly, Delina La Rose, or Ex Nihilo's Lust in Paradise, but you want a little bit more of a heavy sensual base that is going to last, this is your fragrance. Both Delina La Rose and Ex Nihilo's Lust in Paradise, they last on me all day long. We are talking about 12+ hour fragrances. That being said, both of those fragrances here in Canada are going to set you back more than $300, whereas the bottle I have at the Kayali, I think it was either $40 or $44, and the full size I think is around $210. Still pricey, but a lower price point, and if you were someone who likes more of a heavy, bassy perfume that has body, it has projection, and people are going to notice it as you walk by, this is the fragrance for you. My issue is it is a very heavy, very intense fragrance, and I normally do a 2-3 spray for most of my fragrances. The Kayali Fleur Majesty Rose Royale is a 1 spray max for me. There's something about this at 8 hours. If I do a full day out and I get back in my car to drive home, this is all I can smell in my car, and I end up having to crack a window because it's a little overwhelming. I wish it was a little bit softer, because if it was softer and easier for me to digest in like a smaller space like my car, I would love wearing this a lot more often. But for me, this is like one of those ones that it is on my body even after I take a shower. So if that doesn't bother you and you want a really long-lasting fruity floral scent that is like girly early essence shampoo to suit all of your spring summer looks, this is possibly the perfect fragrance for you. This fragrance is classified as a floral amber, so again, you have a floral dominant scent with that warm, sexy amber base that's and a nice warm creaminess to the fragrance. Top notes are mandarin, orange, juicy pear, pear, and sweet peach. And you definitely get this like a cornucopia of fruity florals from the get-go, and they really linger into the heart and the base of the fragrance. In the heart, we have magnolia, white peony, rose centifolia, and violet wood. When it starts to settle down, I feel like the violet aspect really comes through, because you do start getting a little bit of that powderiness that's associated with purple florals like violet and iris, which I love a little bit of a powderiness because it makes it feel like a fresh out of the shower smell. Because a lot of times we associate these like baby powder essence with being like a fresh, clean, almost aldehydic scent that just feels kind of fluffy and light on the skin, like you just toweled your skin off after a shower. In this fragrance, you do get an aspect of that powderiness, but it isn't a powdery fragrance. It is just a general soft hint of powderiness in the heart of this fragrance, and I think it is gorgeous. Going back to the notes, the base of this fragrance is vetiver, the Kayali Accord, and Brock's Supreme, vanilla, praline, and musk. I feel like this kind of gets into the opening in the mid and just kind of stays there. I never really feel that warm, ambery, vanillic, musky base come through. This just stays a strong, fruity floral all day long, and sometimes even after the shower into the following day. For me, this is the ultimate Kayali spring, summer, day or night fragrance. If you want a warm weather fragrance that will last you from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., this is for you. It is gorgeous. I love it so much, but since it is a little bit heavier, I don't personally wear it a ton. This reminds me a lot of one of my top wishlist perfumes, which is the Givenchy Irresistible. I love that fragrance. I have no idea why I haven't purchased it yet. I just haven't purchased it, but I've made up my mind whenever I am ready to buy a new perfume, the Givenchy Irresistible will be my next perfume acquisition. The other fragrance Fleur, Majesty, Rose Royale reminds me of is another favorite of mine. Lancôme Idôle, lush, fresh, kind of powdery rose scent. Lancôme does these rosy fragrances so well. If you compare this to something like the Trésor range or the La Vie Belle range, this is a lot lighter. It's fluffy. It does have a little bit of that shower fresh scent. It's definitely more of a youthful rosy floral. It projects incredibly well. It lasts on the skin really well, and this bottle design is really interesting. I love this. If you were someone like me and you can get overwhelmed by heavier fragrances and you love the idea of the Kayali Fleur, Majesty, Rose Royale, but you want something a little bit lighter, a little bit more easy to digest for a fresh, fruity floral lover, I would definitely look into the Givenchy Irresistible or Lancôme Idôle. We are in the top 3, and we have possibly one of my favorite Kayali fragrances. It's bumped down to number 3 because for me it is a very occasion oriented fragrance, and that is Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper 25. Is for the lovers of a warm rosy oud scent. This is lush pink satin party dress with a patent leather black bag. Hair is in a very tousled updo. You have a strong black liner on and a nude glossy lip with a black patent leather platform pump. Rock chic Barbie in a more sophisticated packaging. Kayali Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper is the fragrance that drew me to the Kayali range. One of the most fun yet luxurious feeling fragrances in my collection, and I've put a nice little dent in this bottle. My issue is it is heavy. It is very similar to something like the Rose Royale, where it's heavy, it has base to it, and it lasts. I wore this once to a brunch date when there was the Santa parade here in Toronto, and my issue was it almost splashed with the cool, crisp, chilly air during the day, because this is a perfume that really clings to my body and it makes itself known. And during the day when you're out for this like Santa parade, it felt a little too heavy. It felt a little too sexy to come hither for my personal comfort. So I love saving this for either date nights when they are not food focused. And I'll come back to that in just a moment. Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper is a floral amber. Top notes notes of pink pepper, bergamot, royal lily, and saffron. A heart of Bulgarian rose, rose centifolia, magnolia, and vanilla orchid. In the base, we have sandalwood, patchouli, sensual musk, and golden amber. I like it for parties where I want to play up more of a fun outfit for like a party occasion. I mentioned that I don't like this for food dominant date events because this is one of those fragrances that I feel like when I've worn it to a dining situation, it can overwhelm my senses a little bit and it almost overpowers the flavors of the food I'm having. This is something that I really like to say for more cocktail parties. So hors d'oeuvres, drinks, but nothing major. And you were there to dress up and impress and socialize. Keep it more lighthearted and casual. I love this perfume so much. This reminds me most of the Maison Francis Kurkdjian Oud Satin Mood. Beautiful fragrance. They both are that rosy oud fragrance. I personally prefer the Kayali because Kayali's Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper is a little bit lighter. It does have a touch more of sensual femininity to it, and it has a better price point. The closest thing I have in my collection is going to be Lush Rose Jam. This is significantly more affordable than the Kayali. My only thing is Lush Rose Jam is such a heavy fragrance. It is a type of fragrance that when I've sprayed it on, it lingers through the entire house. My home has 3 stories, and if I spray it on at the upstairs where like I get ready and you go all the way down to the ground floor, you can still smell this throughout the entire house. And it's like, I haven't even walked downstairs yet. How is this there? If you are someone who wants the essence of Kayali Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper, but you want to stick more to that $40 to $50 price point, then I would go for a Lush Rose Jam. For the $40 to $50 price point, you're getting 200 mils of this, whereas the 10 ml mini bottles that I have of Kayali are about $40 to $44. Number 2, which is Kayali Yum Boujee Marshmallow 81. Light, it is fluffy, it is sweet, it is happiness in a bottle. And for being a fruity floral fragrance, this lasts about 6 to 8 hours on my skin. It is gorgeous. I wore this the other night to go see the new Marvel Thunderbolts movie, and when I got home after the movie, I could still smell this on my sweatshirt I wore, loud and clear. I love this so much. Yum Boujee Marshmallow is an amber gourmand fragrance, so warm, creamy, but sweet and edible. The top notes are pink lady apple, Italian lemon, freesia, and nectarine blossom. The heart is pink marshmallow, strawberry, coconut flakes, and orange blossom water. The base is whipped vanilla, pink musk, raspberry sugar, and broxin in the signature Kayali Accord. This is an any time of year, winter, spring, summer, or autumn daytime scent. It is a warm gourmand, but it is not a heavy, dense gourmand. This is something that you could wear with a flirty, flowy sundress or a more lightweight cable knit sweater. This smells pink in the best way. There is a few Kayali fragrances that really kind of feel like if they had a color, they would be pink, but there are different shades and values of pink. I love this one so much. This does remind me of 2 scents I have in my collection, and they come at 2 very different price points. The more affordable one that it reminds me of is the Bath & Body Works Strawberry Snowflakes. This is a fragrance that normally comes out in the holiday season, and it is very similar to Yum Boujee Marshmallow, except it's lighter, it's more fluffy. It definitely has more of an airy, crystallized take. It's more of like a strawberry sorbet versus more of like a creamy strawberry ice cream. And when you really want to go full on strawberry and you want to take the experience of the more fluffy Yum Boujee Marshmallow, but you want to turn it into a strawberry sundae, you want a lush, decadent, 1,000-calorie, feel-good, unabashed, fruity fragrance, then you would love Burberry Her Elixir. This is a warm, creamy strawberry, and this is like strawberries with all of the lush strawberry jam surrounding the fruit, and you really get that. But there's also something like a little bit of a sandalwood because you do have a creaminess, and again there's almost like something like a violet because there is a little bit of a sprinkle of a powderiness, which I really like. A little bit of powderiness, and that creaminess of the sandalwood does make this feel very sweet, very decadent, very rich, but it still has a little bit of a freshness that really melts in and becomes one with the skin, which is something I also feel like the Kayali Yum Boujee Marshmallow does. Right now, this is probably the one I've gotten the most wear out of, just because it's an easy, light, fluffy, everyday scent, and even though they are very different scents, I really love layering my Yum Boujee Marshmallow with the Ariana Grande Ari fragrance. They are both light, fruity, transparent floral bases with that sugary sweetness from the fruits in them. And my number one in my Kayali fragrance collection is the very first Kayali fragrance I purchased, Déjà Vu White Flower 57. I am a white floral lover. I love those decadent, regal flowers that make you feel put together, almost like you are a 1980s bride. Think of like the glorious Princess Diana wedding gown with that train that cascades down the stairs and those big puff sleeves. You are the royal princess on your wedding day, and you are lush, you are decadent. That is what this reminds me of, but it definitely has that warm Kayali spin. This is inherently sexy, but it is not vulgar. Confident, but it's not boastful. Warm, regal, sexy, classy, and it does everything so well. It's understated while still being a power player. This is something that you could wear to work with like a tweed Chanel style suit, and then you could slip into a little black dress for a date night, or you could even put on your favorite red bodycon dress when you want to go full va-va-voom and show up for yourself on a hot date night. I love this fragrance. I love how versatile it is. It's fun. It's a very versatile fragrance, and I love that this comes in the hair mist. It comes in an all over body spray. This is one that I feel like I don't really have anything similar in my collection. There's things that give a similar essence, but they don't quite step up. The closest thing that I have, and again, it's one of those wish list fragrances, but the thing that I think kind of gets close to Déjà Vu White Flowers is the Elie Saab Le Parfum. Beautiful. It has that warm, mysterious floral aroma, but there's something about the Elie Saab that almost feels slightly more tropical. Before I forget, let's get into some of the details about Déjà Vu White Flower. This is a floral amber fragrance. We have top notes of green pear, white nectarine, and lush gardenia. The heart is Indian jasmine absolute, orange flower, and a tuberose infusion. Base is crystallized patchouli, cashmere woods, Sri Lankan sandalwood, and Tahitian vanilla. Any time of year, day or night fragrance, depending on how you want to wear it. I feel like I've made it pretty obvious that I love a fresh, fruity floral that's light and shampooy. I want a luxurious herbal essence-esque type fragrance, but this is like the other side of my personality where I want something rich and decadent. I want a fragrance that makes me feel powerful. I want something that I can manipulate and adapt. I could wear this to a business meeting and feel like I am putting my best foot forward, or I want this to be something I can wear on a date night. I want it to mix and interact with the natural scent of my body to create something more sexy. I really love how this fragrance almost takes your mindset, your mood, your feeling, and adapts it into something truly uniquely yours. I love this so much. When I was thinking about fragrances in my collection that have the same versatility, the only thing I could really think of is the original Narciso Rodriguez for her Eau de Toilette. This is by no means a dupe or even a sister of the Déjà Vu White Flower by Kayali. This is lighter. It's for sure. You have olibanum. It almost has like a musk tea scent. It's definitely a little bit more woody. It has a crispness. There's almost something like slightly green. The first thing that comes to my mind is a fern. This is a lot more serious. This is your inoffensive office scent. This is something that you want to put on when you want to feel polished, put together, but inoffensive. You could make this work for night, but I feel like there's other fragrances that do better for night. If I were between the two of these again, as much as I love Narciso for her and the entire range, I have most all of the For Her fragrances. There's just something about Déjà Vu White Flower that is so special. And when I was doing my research for this video, I saw on their website this is one of the best sellers. That makes me so happy. This is one I feel like I never really hear a lot of people here on YouTube talk about, and it's such a gorgeous fragrance. And if you are interested in these white floral fragrances, this is one of my top picks. Now let's get into two honorable mentions. These are both wish list fragrances. One I think was discontinued, so it could just be a happy memory. The other perfume I almost purchased during the most recent Sephora sale is the Eden Sparkling Lychee number 39. Definitely a floral fruity scent. This is almost like the Kayali take on Victoria's Secret or Bath and Body Works. It has that fun fruity playfulness, but it's done in a way that feels a little bit more grown up, and it's like the Victoria's Secret or Bath and Body Works that you can wear to your 9-to-5 job. If you had your luxurious handbag and you pulled out the Kayali fragrance, you might not get the same look that you did if you pulled Victoria's Secret Bombshell out. Which brings me to the two fragrances in my collection that are by no means a similar fragrance to Eden Sparkling Lychee, but they give me a similar vibe, and that's the reason why I ended up not buying. I might buy the small bottle in the future, but for now, I'm okay. The two fragrances in my collection that give me a similar vibe to the Kayali Eden Sparkling Lychee are Victoria's Secret Bombshell. This is one of those perfumes that I remember all of my high school friends loving. Into college and university, all of my girlfriends seem to have this. This is something that they would purchase at the semi-annual sale, and it's something that I really wanted when I was in my younger years, but this was before my transition. This was before I felt like it was appropriate for me to wear this, and now I'm in the stage of my life where I do the things I want to do. I don't let things hold me back, so I purchased this back on Black Friday. I think this bottle, which is 50 ml, was like $20. It gets so many compliments. Like, I have way too many perfumes now. Some of them get compliments, some of them don't. I don't really wear fragrance for other people to compliment me. I wear things to compliment how I'm feeling and create the story I want for the day. But when I've worn Victoria's Secret Bombshell, a lot of people stop and they're like, you smell really good. What are you wearing? And I'm like, Victoria's Secret Bombshell. The other one is Bath and Body Works Champagne Toast. I really love Champagne Toast as a body mist or a body lotion, but my favorite way to enjoy Champagne Toast is either as a hand soap or a candle. I just get a little bit more enjoyment, but it does give me that fresh, fruity, sparkly scent and feeling of the Kayali Eden Sparkling Lychee. And the final honorable mention that I think has sadly been discontinued is Kayali Musk 12. I had a little sample and I went through it. I'm like, oh, I'll buy it later. I'll buy it later. And then when I was in Selfridges, I remember seeing the Kayali fragrances in like the big beauty haul, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna buy it. But then something else caught my eye and I ended up not going back. And then I came back to Toronto and I went to go order it and it was sold out everywhere. And I had a note waiting for it to come back in stock and I just never got it. And then I started hearing a rumor that it could be discontinued, which makes me really sad because it's really, really beautiful. It is a soft white musk with these beautiful transparent floral note and just a hint of like a citrusy burst that makes it feel light and fluffy. Like if you want an easy around the house perfume, you want to wear something to the gym, you want to go run errands, and you want you but better, you but brighter, it was beautiful. I have 3 fragrances in my collection that give me similar effects, but they are by no means dupes or alternatives for the Kayali Musk 12. The one that kind of gets the closest with that really beautiful you but better transparent flower is Kenzo Flower by Kenzo. I love this. This is more powdery. This definitely has that warm, powdery iris note. Slightly vintage beige in a great way. I do love that more vintage powdery floral. It reminds me of late 90s. We are wearing neutrals. We are going for power, but we want it to be soft. We want to be a little bit more unassuming. And there's also something about like the Kitana shaped bottle that just I really love. And I like how when I wear this, I feel polished and put together, but not in your face. It's a very discreet and relaxed fragrance. And that's one thing I really love. And that's what makes me relate this fragrance profile to something like Musk 12, even though they are not similar by means of note or their scent. The next one that is similar but different, Your Skin but Enhanced. And this is the Sarah Jessica Parker Lovely You. You could really get away with any of the Sarah Jessica Parker You fragrances for like a white musk you but better scent. However, Lovely You, grown up expensive baby powder. If you like things like Diptyque's Eau de Papier or Fleur de Peau, this is very similar. It's that powdery purple floral, again, that's like iris or violet. You but better scent. It's coupled with that like more fluffy white musk. In a sense, it's nostalgic. Something like Jovan white musk or even the Body Shop white musk. It's that you but better scent, that type of scent that really meshes with the essence of you to create something a little bit more elevated, a little bit more sexy, something that is come hither in a whisper versus a scream. It is gorgeous. The final perfume to talk about today that reminds me of Musk 12 is one that I really love. Prada Candy Kiss, a blend of musk. If I'm not mistaken, you have musk in the opening and the heart and the base. And there's something slightly solar. I believe this has neroli in it, so it definitely has this element of bright sunniness. And this is another fragrance that it doesn't scream, it doesn't project, but when people get next to you, this is one. When your friend's going for a hug, they're like, you smell really good. I'm like, thanks. It's Prada Candy Kiss. And it's like, oh, I don't like Prada candy. I'm like, no, no, no. This is nothing like the original Prada candy. This is a white musk, fruity, floral, solar summer scent. Your white musk from the Body Shop coupled with something like light blue from Dolce & Gabbana. Recently, it's kind of taken on a new release because as it's gotten warmer, my husband and I love taking a nice long walk every night after dinner. And I was like, sweetie, why are you wearing my Prada? And he asked me, what do I mean? And I'm like, you're wearing my Prada Candy Kiss. And he's like, no, I'm not. And I'm like, then what are you wearing? He's like, I'm not wearing any fragrance. And I'm like, hold on. So I came upstairs, sprayed some of this on my wrist. I'm like, smell me. And he's like, oh, you do smell like me. I'm like, yes. What did you apply? And then he walked over next to our like little mudroom area and he grabbed this dark green bottle of Off Deep Woods bug spray and he sprayed it on his arm. And I'm like, your insect repellent smells like my Prada perfume. Which, great news, the bug spray smells beautiful. But now I think about my beautiful Prada perfume smelling like bug spray. I still wear it. I mean, that is going to conclude today's video. If you found this video helpful, informative, and if you like hearing my take on these fragrances, let me know your thoughts and opinions. Are there any perfumes that you are now curious to take a second look at that you possibly have written off in the past? Let me know your thoughts and opinions. I always value reading your comments and interacting and chatting with you. Till we see each other again, take care wherever it is you're in the world. Bye, y'all.